Hello, Robbie.
It's the coaches' meetings, April 7th, 2020, day 20 plus of quarantine. You're here with Robbie Schaefer and
Jim Schaefer. I call it the Schaefer and Schaefer show, but that's all right.
uh, there's a lot of play on words
But
that can be made off
I'm
of Schaefer.
I'm the second banana here. I understand. So
No, you're getting better. We're just getting better each week. That's the goal. We'll improve. So, lastly, I think last week it was our first show, part two, rave reviews. As far as I've heard, what have you heard?
well, the older generation loved it.
This technology thing.
The younger people don't talk to me anymore
We're
unless I was
getting,
coaching them up.
we are putting it out on YouTube links to, I'll upload them after each episode. And, but we'll put them through Facebook that people can get to them also and leave comments, share, subscribe, all that jazz. But you have the video camera at home ready to go, but I'm trying to order I've been looking at Logitech cameras so we can record the video of this.
Well,
And
as
they're
an
the
aside,
their markup is
my
like
computer
4x right
has my computer has a video camera on the top of it, not the accessory that is in this studio.
Yeah, I could theoretically use Kelsey's work computer, but I don't. We'll get there. We're gonna go. We'll have video here soon, but prices right now in the market. If anybody's got a good deal, let me know because they are $40 cameras are going for like $200 right now. So
Why?
supply and demand. But we're not going to go in an economics segment. What we're going to start off in is what's new from this last week. So, Dad, what's new with you?
Well, there's a lot new, but let's start with today. Is the super moon is coming. It's going to be pink, the closest, a full moon, closest it'll be in a long time. If you go outside and you got a clear sky, go out and look at it.
Will you be taking a picture on your iPhone with your part of your finger covering the moon?
That would be an eclipse.
No, well, but your photography, for those that know you, is world renowned out the back of your house.
Well, it was a beautiful sunset tonight.
Same sunset, different day. Well, but now you can get the blood moon.
That damn thing goes around every 24 hours.
It gives you have 365 opportunities to get it a year.
I've been watching on the Golf Channel. Here's what's new. I've been watching on the Golf Channel. This is Masters Week without a Masters. And so they've been replaying all these great Masters. This morning I watched the 1961 Masters. Arnold Palmer has a one-shot lead coming into 18 and double bogeys the hole to lose to Gary Player. Gary Player had four over on the backside and still won. Anyway, that was interesting. They got the 1975 Masters coming. Jack Nicklaus, when he was 45 years old, 1986 Masters. It's kind of cool to catch it. You forget it. Well, these are things from my childhood.
I'll relate to that.
Early adulthood.
I saw something from Gary Player today, but it actually was in a slideshow of. It was like 19 unreal photos of Yao Ming standing next to other athletes. Google Yao Ming pictures with other athletes. Yao Ming standing next to Gary Player on a golf course is frightening.
Gary Player is about 5'7", 5'8", maybe on a good day. I ran into him in the San Diego airport on one of our golf trips.
He said, "Hey, Jim."
He said, "Out of my way." He had an assistant. His gal was with him. Now Dave knows my a person that'll remain nameless that begins with D. He knows him. He was out there for something. The senior skins game was out there. I forget what year it was, but anyway, Gary, he's fit as a fiddle, man, and he rifles through airports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kind of reminds me when I ran into Lou Holtz once in the airport. Lou Holtz almost ran smack dab into me with his head down. I went, "Oh my God, he's gonna take me out."
Did the marbles almost fall out of his mouth?
This is before he had all that bridge work done.
That's good. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're finding ways to entertain yourself because the 3 TV setup in the basement right now with no sports is kind of. I was wondering if you're going to get a mix of like Food Network, Nat Geo, and Discovery Channel, like on all three.
It was close. I watched PBS documentary on Teddy Roosevelt last night, and then they had the Golf Channel on the other station. I don't even use the other one now.
Well,
Of course, that keeps your costs down because I'll just fire up something on your.
That's a fixed cost. Well, we'll work out the costs later. Well, I'm glad you're keeping yourself entertained.
It's crazy.
Yeah, my form of entertainment, well, more punishment. I don't know what you call it. Not having been to a gym or really exercised more than going on long hand in hand walks with my wife. The only exercise has been.
Wow,
I ran a mile this week.
It took you a week to run a mile?
I hadn't exercised since February, and I was like, I got to do something. So I thought it'd be a good idea to break in between two conference calls to run a mile around our little loop at home and put up a 6:35 time, which was happy with. But one thing I learned is, should be an obvious one, but warm up. That's a good idea. Because I went, put shoes on, did the quick, grab your feet, stretch your quads real quick while you're standing. And then I started the watch and ran 3 laps around the block to only finish wheezing and laying down on the floor coughing for the next 2 hours, which then caused my wife to think that I had come down with the Rona. So
Sharona, my Sharona?
No, the Big C.
The beer?
She thought I had found my beach because I came in heaving. Lesson learned. We went on Google.
That mucus has been down in there for a while.
Let's not get too graphic. On WebMD, also one of the best but most dangerous things of your time for self-diagnosis. And, we looked up, Kelsey thought I, should look up the symptoms, to which it says if you don't warm up before exercising, you could have this chest tightness. So
you could have exercise-induced asthma.
It could be, but long story short, we're getting back out there for another mile this week. I am.
You haven't had an asthma attack since you were a kid, have you?
I think I just wanted to get out of whatever drills I was doing at the time. To be completely honest,
I tell you, I ran that Thanksgiving turkey trot 5K without any warm ups or practice. You guys got me doing that. That's the last time I ever ran. That was about 5 years ago. Oh my gosh, my legs were like stone for about 3 weeks.
Well, that was a fun one where
Goose won.
2 current medical doctors, one a plastic surgeon, other interventional radiologist, were over at the house till 4 a.m. Well, no, they stayed the night, but we stayed up catching up and having drinks till going to bed at 4 a.m. only to run at 9, they stayed down there. If you recall, I ran the race, and then we ran into
smart healthcare.
We ran into some relatives who, after the race, said, "You smell like you were having some drinks last night." So, lesson learned.
Hey, but your dog.
Alcohol comes through your sweat. But yeah, that was the start of many good races with Goose and I. So, anywho, fitness, finding ways to stay active. We encourage all our listeners to stay active.
Now, wait a second. This all goes back to my theory that nothing good happens after midnight.
I don't see anything wrong that happened with that. It just was a matter of you almost kicked the bucket that morning, and yeah. All right. Well, the next thing, other than golf related, as many things on this show will be, got 9 holes in this weekend. Nice weekend to do it. Course is in good shape. Cups were raised and they moved everything. But this is where I learned more about myself and my wife learned more about myself. I cannot stand littering. What are your thoughts on littering?
Off with their heads. Off with their head. You know what? When I play a golf course, and this goes back when I worked in the maintenance, I pick up every piece of scrap. I shouldn't pick up some stuff. But stuff I find, I pick it up, put it in my pocket, I throw it away the next tee. But they got rid of the garbage cans of your course. And the other thing is, when I had a caddy, I would have a caddy. I'd go, here, throw that away the next tee. Throw that away. And I'd police the grounds. You know what? And I do that a lot. We have people that do that in our neighborhood. On their walks, they'll pick up stuff and they'll wait till they see a garbage can. I'll throw in a garbage can. I mean, it drives me freaking bonkers. You know what drives me bonkers probably the most is guys that smoke cigars that take the plastic wrapper off, and I find them on the golf course. If you can
Yeah.
smoke a cigar, just put it in your freaking pocket.
That's what I don't get, and this is call this our PSA part of the show, but they are the course, the club we go to, which we're lucky enough to do, sends out all this email says, hey, for us to be able to do this, here's the things we need to follow. Keep your trash with you. And people are just putting empty beers and their, wrappers and stuff like in where the coolers would go. Or some people on the last tee, there's a empty like wine cooler bag or whatever the hell, just sitting on the tee box on the ninth tee. I was like, that stuff, man.
Because you have no employees. The employees aren't there. The essential employees are there, but not the ones to pick up that junk.
If there's anything to learn from this whole thing we're going through now, I'm like, good grief, like we're all in this together, folks. Pick up your part. But that's
so what you got to do is if you see somebody that's throwing stuff like that, you got to videotape them on your phone, and then post them and say, this is going live. Please pick your shit up. Can I say the word shit on this show?
Oh yeah, Dad. We're a big cussing podcast.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe. I don't know. We might have to slap the MA for mature on it, but we'll see. We'll fly under the radar. So
yeah,
lastly,
kind of like you guys in your bedrooms when growing up.
That was fine. Well, no, the thing is cleaning up the bedroom before company comes over, even though company never goes, hey, let me see your kids' bedrooms. No, that's
whenever we got a new house, we would
that is zero for that's zero for like 10,000 all time. Outside of when you first move into the house, nobody's looking. Nobody's, let me see upstairs. Oh, what? Never. All right.
Just Robbie's room? Oh, my God.
So, littering. People, don't do it. Moving on. Things from last week in the sports world. Our supreme negotiator, fearless leader, Donald Trump, met with 12 sports commissioners to...
Something like that. Did he meet with them or talk to them on the phone?
Oh, he talked with them on the phone. Well, they could have
Zoomed. Zoom? Yeah.
Zoom and who knows? But we just want to talk about some of the major sports that are coming up before year end.
Hey! Before you go too long, can we have like a 5-second moment of silence for Al Kaline?
Mr. Tiger, sure.
You know he passed away.
I was trying to honor the silence. If you didn't know, we're Tigers fans here, but that's our moment for Mr. Tiger. Passed away at 85, 86.
Something like that. Do you know that he never played one game in the minors?
Wow.
He went straight from his last high school game to the major leagues.
That's the real deal.
18 years old. At 19, he was the batting.
He's got a statue at Comerica, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Were you sitting on that 5-second moment of silence all day today? Or is that just...
No, I just made it up.
Well, I'd love to think of a time when the Tigers are back on the field playing. But so that brings us to the conversation around starting sports or restarting sports in the next year. We're going through first. We're going to look at Major League, NBA, NFL, and NCAA football. So Major League, I mean, they were in spring training. Now everyone's going home. They're shutting down. I mean, the rosters are still expanded. Do you even think this is something that they're going to start?
I think they're going to dabble back into it, but I think all the major sports make the vast majority of their money off TV. And while it's probably less acceptable that there's no fans there, I think they'll each come back with no fans in the stands, including the NFL and college football. That'll be interesting. College football, the colleges need that money. They can't. I mean, it's so huge. Not so much in the Big Ten and the SEC, but like the Mid-American Conference. It's
all right. So that brings me to my point that I was thinking about. NCAA football, it can't happen if school's not in session.
Right. I agree with that.
If there's this second wave and there's student athlete, how the virus would spread, you can't have that go on. The other thing is if they say, we'll just have the athletes play. at that point in time, if there's no student part to the student athlete, I think it just undoes the whole argument that people have towards the student athlete.
The athletes should unionize and demand money if that's the case, because they're sacrificing their health for money for the university. And right now, I know Toledo and Bowling Green here in Northwest Ohio are only going to have online summer classes. They've already announced that today. And you could actually have education going on through online classes. But, these guys are, the guys are subject to infection anyway all the time. Wrestlers are the worst. Staph infections.
Rampant. There's nothing like staph infections and coronavirus, Dad.
No. I know, but what I'm saying is corona would be a lot worse.
Entirely. But that's not even apples to oranges. That's apples to a shoe.
I'm talking about the mitigation procedures that would go on to clean up wrestling mats, gyms, showers, lockers, facilities. I would not start a sport up unless you can guarantee the athletes a modicum of safety.
Mm-hmm. Well, and from a NCAA standpoint, if they unionize, found out ways to monetize getting paid, because to me, it would undo everything that the NCAA stands for. Like their whole argument of student athlete and why people shouldn't be paid, all this stuff. Like, I just think it would completely unravel the NCAA.
It's all about the money.
So exactly, that's my point. It can't happen. It doesn't give them a leg to stand on. So I don't think there's going to be. I don't know. I was thinking about it. They might just do conference play. What if you just had 8-game conference play? Because the thing is, you create let's call it I don't know the terminology, but you create your herd with each conference, and you play within there. You mitigate there.
Did you read that column in the Toledo Blade by Dave Briggs in the 1919 Spanish flu epidemic, in which University Ohio State and Michigan hadn't played in 6 years, and they scheduled a game, and then they pushed it back to the last week in November. And it was like a 6-game season they did, like all league, like you're talking about. And that was, but they probably shouldn't have played that game either. There were quarantines going. They said in the city of Columbus had 25 people had died the day before. There's precedence for this. It's 100 years ago, but there was precedence. And I just think this is going to change fundamentally how college sports operates and how the relationship between college athletes and the institutions, because of the huge amount of TV money. Huge amount.
Well, I think if anything, it furthers the cause of players to get paid. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Players should be in the driver's seat here. The only problem is they only have a 4-year career. So they always, by the time they figure it out, they start out with their eyes wide open as high school seniors. Although a lot of them are going through camps, and football players are going through the camps, and basketball players are going to the AAU leagues, and they get their eyes open. It's a way they want to get to the big paycheck. Mm-hmm. The premier players.
Yeah, well, and I think you call them amateur players right now, but amateur sports presently, those people that are scraping by while they're trying to make it in the bigs. You look at people that would be playing for amateur hockey, amateur baseball, the D League. Some of these players, you got to concern about everybody. But I go, their athletic futures are just like, do you just kind of bag it and say, I got to go give up on the dream because of this? If there's not going to be anything, because there's no revenues to support it. Well, now NFL's one that, for me, I can't change my thought process to imagine a world without the NFL, as hard as that is. It's just, I think there's going to be a way that they're going to do it.
As long as there's gambling involved, yeah.
Well, you look at it, the fan experience already for 95% of the fans at games, I don't know. So many people say it's a better experience on TV, unless you are first level, in a club, in a suite level, on field. Like, I've been to the upper deck games at Paul Brown Stadium for the Bengals. I was like, the first game I went to, you're in a wind tunnel and you can barely see anything.
Well,
the Jumbotron small, I go, I want to be at home. I want to watch wraparound coverage.
yeah, well, yeah, that was kind of like I went to a Final Four basketball game at Ford Field, and I spent the whole game watching the monitor because the TV at the other end of the field was so vivid and had a better look than I had, and I couldn't judge the three-dimensional nature. It was like two-dimensional. We were up so high, and we had two sets of things behind us. We were in like the third deck, and there were 5 decks, and I said, that's crazy. But let me tell you this: the average career in the NFL is 3 years. The average career in the NBA is about 3 years. The average career, in Major League Baseball, such a minute portion of the people who get drafted even make it to the majors. So, these kids, they got to make their payday. Kids, these 20-somethings need to make it. And I kind of respect. He's a public name, so I'll throw him out there. Dane Sonsenbacher. He did more with less. Little guy. We know him. You played basketball against him in grade school and
He
stuff.
doesn't remember He doesn't remember who I am, though.
Well, that's because he wants to mess with you.
No, but Kevin will be on a bachelor party with him, so we'll see where that goes. Continue.
All right. So, but he knows Aaron. So, anyway, we got a chance to talk to him. He had a 3.5-year career in the NFL, and he got one good contract. But in 5 years or 4 years, I think he made somewhere in the nature of $3 million, 2.5. He made the minimum for 2 years, and then he was a walk-on. I mean, he was an undrafted free agent, and then he got a contract with Cincinnati. He's fine, and his body's together. It's not crippled, and to me, get in, get out, get your money and go. For every Tom Brady, there's 1,000. Well, I mean, in terms of like
you're making real bold claims here, Dad. I don't think anyone's going to contest that.
Let me finish my thought. Tom Brady's got a 22-year career. For every one of those, there's 1,000 that have a 2-year career. So the point is, make your money when you can.
Hot takes here on coaches' meetings.
Whatever.
And
I've been around the block.
Yeah, I know. You just took your time. Did you see with the Masters getting rescheduled? Someone was saying
November.
With it, people said, "Oh, the Masters falling in the November in Georgia in SEC country, assuming NCAA is going." If you look at the projected matchups for that weekend in the SEC, they strategically picked a weekend where it's when the SEC teams, except for a couple, South Carolina plays LSU, and that's about the only noteworthy game. Everybody else is playing,
It's like November 18th through the 22nd or something like that.
I think it's the weekend before.
That would be the SEC championship games in there somewhere.
Well, right, but it's not that. So clearly the people at Augusta National, which good on them, thinking, if that schedule actually took place, they don't want to schedule against the SEC. But really, best case scenario that I look forward to coming out of all this. I don't
think the members at Augusta National give a shit. Remember, they threw a tournament on without any commercials to avoid their sponsors getting boycotted by what's her name? Anyway, because they discriminated against women. Mm-hmm. They ran 2 years. I think it was 2 years without commercials. They said, we don't care.
Well, they're not going against it. They're just trying to complement it. But in any event, I think best case scenario of, not that it's likely scenario, but in my mind, hoping for the best is you just get all these sports running concurrently, and it is just a adrenaline rush of sports every night. It might just wear you out, but
bring it on. I'm all for it.
All right, so that's our sports hypothesizing, but let's go to the booze review. Apparently, it's National Beer Day.
No.
I didn't make it up.
Well, I bought beer today.
Yeah, well, that's good. What beverage are you having over there?
Doors on the rocks, same as last week.
Wow, you're really mixing it up. Same bottle?
No. Why do you hold me to that? Do I have a truth thing on me?
No, I'm actually drinking the truth over here.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's the good stuff down here.
What is that? 7.5% alcohol?
Somewhere in there, some IPA. Truth, Rheingeist. Most people know it. It's got big distribution.
Well, at your surprise party, I had a bunch of that.
Yeah,
before we got to the surprise.
We were down there. In fact, I think I got you to try it. You tried one other one, but you didn't like it.
Nope.
But
I gotta tell you this. Wait, I gotta tell you this. So you guys come home with the holidays and you go buy all these beers, different kinds, and we have now a menagerie of beers in the refrigerator. So I take them out to the 14th tee to meet up with my buddies. Say, what do you want? And they're like, you got a Mick Ultra? You got a Bud Light? No, but I've got Rheingeist coffee beer or something.
Those are dangerous.
So anyway, we should have a party and get rid of those.
It's like a reverse stock the bar party.
Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll take them outside. I'll put a cooler out there on 16 and say, free beers, take one.
Just throw them in a high school parking lot. Someone will get them. I'll make sure it's in the cover.
You get arrested for that.
Well, I think that they're loosening up on some of that stuff right now.
Okay.
Oh no, I kid. Well, anyways,
you're gonna be a new parent, so now we're talking about that. Wait till I start giving scotch to your kid at 5 years old.
No, we'll see. So let's just jump
only
forward.
For the gums. That's medicinal for the gums.
Let's jump right into a great segue on your part.
I know. I'm trying to keep you on task.
Into the Parents' Corner. So the Parents' Corner came from a listener submission of ideas where we're going to start this week, you and I, but we're going to probably open it up to callers that we can Skype in for them to ask, and I'm
not giving them my number.
So
I could be the Don Cherry of this.
You're not giving out any number because you're using Mom's Skype account to do this whole thing.
Oh, that's right.
So this is all on record for her. But my parenting corner question is, as a hypothetical for some young parents out there that kids are starting to get mobile and moving and grabbing things, what would you do or how would you react if you you came outside from you came out from the inside of your kid's playing and your youngest child, probably at the age of 5, had a golf club in his hand and there was a dent in the hood of your car? How do you assess that situation? How do you react?
Well, I started buying cheaper cars because I didn't want to kill the kid. And his older brother put him up to it. Actually, you were about 3 or 4.
That's what they say.
And it wasn't a real golf club. It was a plastic golf club. But you were putting dents in my freaking car. Buick LeSabre was a beautiful car. It was an old man's car. I was probably going to get a Fedora to drive it. And Pat's like, look what Robbie's doing. I said, wait a second.
Well, you've led me to believe my whole life that I had clubs out of your bag, putting titanium to metal.
They weren't. Wait a second. No. The printer is going here. Why is the printer?
You didn't do anything. Let it go. We're still rolling.
It's spooky. The ghosts are here. So
the mic's not picking it up, so that's fine.
No. So I learned a long time ago. In fact, my next car will probably be my dream car. I've always been, although you're going to have a grandkid. I don't want to do that. I need to hide a car.
Oh, you're going to get a little 2-seater Miata?
No, I don't like those. I might get a Lexus. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
I need enough foot room that I can turn my body and get out of the car because it's hard for me to get out of the car now.
Well, you need an eject button.
I need those for the lazy boy chair in the basement that just kind of pops you right out of the chair.
You're going to pull a hamstring one day and trying to eject out of those chairs.
It won't be the first.
Yeah. Well, the move on to one final thing. Why
Let's
don't
go
we?
back to your question.
Okay.
I would disarm the assailant, take the club away from him. I give him a swat on the behind and say, get the house. Other than that, not much.
Which way would the ring be facing?
It depends on how expensive the car was. I
Fair
cracked
enough.
you. There you go.
I survived.
Oh, there's a lot
imagine
more.
how. Yeah, there were times you worried. All right, one final thing.
I'm going to talk about you in sports for a second. So Dick LaValle and I are coaching you and Mikey LaValle. And we're getting ready to start an inning, and we got the other team out, and the players ran out the field to go bat. But
How
apparently,
old are we?
6 or 7.
Okay.
So we're getting ready to bat, and he said, "Where's Robbie and Mikey?" And Dick goes, "Look out in center field. You guys had ran from the field to go piss in the woods with your back to us." I go, "You got to be kidding me." And then the other one was there's a huge puddle there.
Well, you guys taught the buddy system.
And Dick says to me, he says, "Oh my God, Robbie, somebody's going to end up in that." And sure enough, you went flying face first in a mud puddle going up to the bat. And I think you did it on purpose.
Yeah, I think I can't dodge that. If there's ever a time to get messy, whether it's, I mean, even in the house this week, we're painting. I try to avoid making a mess on myself, getting covered. I mean, I still have paint under my under my fingernails.
Bring that up again. We'll vote on it.
Well, this is why I need to stick to the booze for the segment, because the beer will make me burp right up. But yeah, I don't know. I can't dodge that. I make a mess all the freaking time. I'm not tidy. I don't proclaim to be. But
you wear tidy whities.
Let's bring it home. One final thing. We both had in our households this week, we had run-ins with delivery experiences and not going so well. And we kind of talked about this theory we have. Dad, you want to share the experience you had or you witnessed?
Well, my spouse, Robbie's mom, ordered a Surface Pro on Amazon. And we got a notice, hey, it's at the side door. It was delivered at 9:30 or 9:27. Well, I walked outside at 9:30. We have proof of it. We have a Ring doorbell and shows me going to the mailbox, come back. There's nothing there. Oh, well, maybe they delivered the wrong house. No, wait a second. Address is pretty specific. So then we went back through that, fought that, got a credit, blah, blah, blah. So she ordered another one. So it didn't come when it was supposed to come. And then next thing we know, the doorbell didn't ring. The guy delivered a box from Amazon. And it was not, and it was from the post office, USPS. But a guy in a red car pulled up. We have his picture, plain as day, which we've sent to the Savannah Township Police, but in case he's out there. And he laid a box there. He said it was delivered at such and such. Well, we went right on, got it right away. And Debs goes, I don't think there's anything in the box. I said, whoa, before you go any farther, I'm going to videotape this. We'll videotape you opening the box. Sure enough, she opens the box. There's nothing in there. And it looks like the box had been opened and resealed and another Surface Pro stolen. I don't know who the culprits are or where the mess up is, but we finally got one today. Funny part was we were complaining in the post office, and they said, well, we'll make sure we're more careful next time, blah, blah, blah. And he said, you know what? You're not going to be the carrier. Amazon's decided to use UPS for the next one. So UPS delivered it today. We got it fine. We always get a UPS delivery. It's fine. So,
yeah. So
it seems to me, but my theory is there's not enough businesses open to rob or carry out. So people are coming up with new scams. Be careful. There's online scams and there's stealing deliveries from porches and side doors right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. So I'll just real quick have similar experience, less scale. Last night for my wife's birthday, we were lucky enough to get DoorDash delivered and
get a birthday
there was cakes were delivered at lunch, bun cakes, but we digress.
Wow.
So on DoorDash, we get this barbecue order of we kind of do it big, $40-$50 where it was a nice gift from the in-laws to say, we'll take care of the DoorDash delivery. So we're ordering on their card to get this delivered. And then it gets there really quick. I was just hopping out of the shower after getting done painting, and I hear the door go. And Kelsey goes out and comes back in, and she's like, this looks weird. We ordered like all this other stuff. And that printer, what?
I don't know why it's going.
Well, we'll fix it for next week, fans. But long story short, Kelsey comes back in. There's one sandwich in this bag, and I go, "What the hell is this?" She said, "Yeah, like the guy just left it on the porch, didn't ring the or he might have rung and walked away."
That's what they call it, DoorDash.
She looks literally. She goes back, and he's in his car, and she's like, "What is this? This is not what we ordered." And he says, "Oh, this is all they gave me." And I was like, "This." I go out, look, and he was already gone. The name on the receipt is somebody by the different name. And I was like, this makes no sense. I mean, we had an order of, it was plenty of food.
What'd you have, lobster?
No, we had hot dogs, barbecue. It was barbecue pulled turkey, grits, macaroni and cheese, stuff like that. And
soul food.
I'm thinking, I go, there's no way this guy, like, you either totally incompetent on this order that's with our names on it and it has somebody else's names is what you give us. And noticeably, it's a $50 thing versus a $12 order. Not the biggest deal in the world, but I go, there's a problem with the delivery model. So my theory, while you saying there's not places to rob, for me, it's there's more demand for delivery services. They don't have time to screen employees. So it's a quick, I can make a buck. I can whatever. I know it's the food thing is not the biggest deal in the world, but I was like, that's, to me, I wonder how that's hurting these delivery services. Because if these delivery services, you can't be trusted under what these circumstances are, I was like, there's a lot more worse things to come if you can't trust the delivery service and you have to go back out into the places to get your groceries and daily needs. So that's the final thing.
Well, no, there's one more footnote. The governor announced there's 165 prisoners he's recommended for release from Ohio jails. They're people that are like over 65 that created nonviolent crimes. Tom Noe's on that list.
Oh,
I think that's probably appropriate. Tom served 12 years of an 18-year sentence. I never thought the 18-year sentence was appropriate because it was more than what murderers serve. Some murders.
Let's curtail this. It's all public history on what he's done. We'll end with the fun one though. Easter Sunday this week. What are you going to be wearing when you're watching Mass at home? Are you putting on your Sunday best? You wearing pastels, loafers?
Oh, I thought you meant boxers or briefs. I think from the waist up, I'll be appropriate.
There's no camera on you, but I think you got to go. I don't know.
I think we'll have an Easter egg hunt.
Are you going to have ham, eggs? Like, are you having an Easter brunch at home? Like,
well, my mom's right. So
is Sylvania doing takeout Easter brunch?
So your mother, I'm going to keep calling her your mother. Your mother was told by my mother that, hey, your sister-in-law was talking about having a gathering for Easter, and Mom said, "Are you out of your minds? We've been quarantined for 24 days. We're not going to blow it." So I don't think, although we watched Palm Sunday Mass together, Mom and I, and Monsignor Bellion was there. It was the three of us, online.
Yeah.
I think I'll probably, the most moving ceremony in the Catholic Church calendar, I think, is Holy Thursday service. So I'll watch that online. I'll watch Stations of the Cross on Friday, and I'll watch Sunday Mass. And I will probably, I'll probably shave Sunday, and because normally I don't. And I'll wear something so that we can, when we FaceTime on Sunday, we'll do this. This is the first time in a long time we haven't been together with any of our children on Easter, I'm sure. And I don't think it's smart. We're almost there, people. We're almost there in terms of coronavirus. Don't go and blow it. Don't go to 1,000 people in a church in Texas. And I don't know who else listens to this, but let's not blow it. We're almost there. We're praying every day. Let's get through this.
All right. Good stuff. Well, I thought this was a good episode. I love you. And The thing of it is, we had a good time.
That's you're gonna have to explain that sign off at some point.